Very excited to have a top prospect for Arizona's 2022 recruiting class, Kyron Chambers, out of South Oak Cliff High School in Dallas, Texas. A 6-foot cornerback, 3-star recruit by 24/7 Sports. Even though I will predict that will go up this fall, just a bold prediction. Joins us here in Wildcat Country. Kyron, glad to have you. First of all, I think the obvious question is: so why Arizona? You're in Texas, so what made you choose Jedfish and the Wildcats?
Um, it was basically because, of the relationship. We had talked about, their intentions, me talking about my future, Uh, he let me know how important I am to that staff, how important I am to this team, in the future. What a big impact that I would be to that team. We ain't talk about no image likeness. That was a good thing about it. It was nothing about strictly just ball. It was we talked about just kindness. Uh, we talked about just personality, just life itself. It's not just just about football. I felt the real love. I was with some of the teammates. It felt like a family. Going in as a corner at my size, that was a big part in my decision also. Me just getting my weight down to 185, actually planning on to be, a little bit lighter going into, my senior season, then to college, that was a big impact, and good thing that they was able to help me with that. It was just deeper, uh, connections, good. I feel the love from the whole staff, from the whole coaching staff, from the whole teammates also, and we had already talked about my plans, going to the future about, my athletic career so far. And that's what stood out. That's what stood out with them.
Kyron, what's your relationship like with Dwayne Walker, Arizona's cornerbacks coach, and what did he do to help convince you that Tucson was where you needed to be?
Um, we talked, even before he hit me. I remember talking, and I remember he had quizzed me. He about about the conference. He just picked my brain a little bit. He asked me about my IQ, my progression, stuff like that. And that was just one punch of it. Going into us building the connection, us building a relationship with each other. Um, and us talking about was talking a little bit about more ball. About his experience. Where he came from. Just life itself, football. We talked a lot of ball. Then once I met him in person. I met Coach Don. I met Coach Don Brown. Met Coach Razul. I met that whole staff. It just felt like it felt like a family. It felt like somewhere I would want to be a part of. You know, even though it's always hot. Also, I'm in Texas, so it's like it's always going to be hot. So it's not nothing that's that I'm not used to. But there was one thing, our relationship got tighter. We talked a lot about. Then we talked about, his intentions and what they're planning on for my future. And we talked about that early, and we just picked up on that every time that we talked.
So you mentioned Don Brown, and it seems like everyone loves to play for that guy. Obviously, he's known as Dr. Blitz. But what do you got to know him a little bit? What are your thoughts on Coach Brown, and what's your relationship with him like at this point?
One thing I do know, when I met him in person, he's a straightforward type of guy. If everyone knows he love the blitz. He bring pressure. He have a lot of offenses on their heels. First thing he said when he met me, he said how I feel about blitzing. Either in the box or either at corner at times. Sometimes just different ways. He was just talking to me. Then he talked to me about ball. We talked about IQ. Whenever we had our personal meetings, he really knows. He really knows the game. It's some a defensive coordinator. That I love to be under. Uh, and I feel that he'll put me in the right position. To get to where I'm get me to where I need to be in life.
When you think about your game, who do you model it after as a corner?
As a corner, I give it to Jair Alexander. Maybe mostly because my physicality, my athleticism, the way that I could play. my IQ, versatility. It's like I can play I can play different aspects of my game. Uh, and sometimes I can give it a little bit to Jalen Ramsey also because my way of my ability to play man through the whole game. And deep down the league in the NFL, they have a lot of teams that play, mainly man, and that's the main focus. You have to always be able to play man. Good thing that where I'm going, man is something that you will have to be able to play. So when I get there, it's like it's something that I already have an edge on, you know, um, and it'll be able to you know, be easier for me, to pick up on where I left off from high school to college.
I
So,
know you still have another year of high school to go, but how ready do you think you are to play right away in college as compared to, maybe taking a redshirt year and going from there? Do
mhm.
you have a preference as to whether I'm ready to go right away, or, it's probably better to sit a year, gain some experience, and then be ready to go after your redshirt year?
Personally, I feel, as in my opinion, I wouldn't want to sit out at all because I feel that, physically I'm always ready. The game is it's 90% mental now. So once I mentally be prepared, I'll be ready for anything. Going into my senior season, you know, that's just to prepare me for my freshman year of college. My mindset going into it is like, I'm finna take somebody's spot. I want to get on the field. I want to play. That's just how my mindset going into it so far. Um, if I knew that I wouldn't be able to compete in a spot to play, then I wouldn't be I wouldn't consider them. But besides that, that's just my mindset going into it so far.
Kyron, you mentioned real quick that the recruiting process was really about on the field and working hard and getting to the next level, as opposed to the name, image, likeness, which obviously is a big deal now. Is that something that really one of the reasons that Arizona really appealed to you, and is that maybe a contrast from what maybe some of the other schools were trying to pitch you?
My focus, just like my one of my previous friends, from my 707 team, Evan Stewart, he previously spoke on it, about the image and like the NLI, it's like that's not something that I was looking forward into, I feel that that's gonna naturally come, based off of your play, based off of your game. So, it's not exactly what I was looking to. My mind was, what do you have in store for me? Um, what do you like about me? What do you think that what's part of my game that I can that can affect that can have a big impact on your game and that what can make your team better? You know, Coming onto the field, everybody loves my enthusiasm, my personality. So it's just like uh, my whole mind was just football only. You know, the money, the everything else, they'll just come later. So I wasn't really worried about it.
Last question for you, Kyron. We appreciate your time. Tell us about Kyron Chambers away from football. What do you like to do with your time out there in Dallas? Any hobbies or talents that you can share with us that people might not know about you?
Um, Personally, let me see. What do I like to do outside of football? Outside of
It's
football, I maybe. Well, think about me. I work out a lot. I do a lot of football related things. So it's like it's basically my life, But maybe one day out for all 7 days, maybe on a Saturday or something, I maybe go to, one of my friends' houses or just to kick it, just to play the game or, just talk or just chill, or I maybe go to a party or, just something like that. Maybe sometimes even I maybe go to the mall or, go swimming, 'cause I am starting to actually like to swim more. Uh, but besides that, I just like to basically gather. I don't like to be around a lot of packs because they can get you a lot of situations that you wouldn't want to be in. That's one thing that I learned growing up. So it's like I stay to myself a lot. So if it's not me, going to the mall or, going swimming, going to my friend's house, then I don't really do anything else. I maybe play the game. I'm planning on starting to feed the homeless more. I actually do some community stuff. Doing stuff in my community, stuff like that, going into my senior season. That's about it for me going forward.
Well, that's awesome. You definitely have a lot of time off the field, and you have a good head on your shoulders. Now, I have to ask you one last question. My co-host here has written 2 books about the ASU U of A rivalry. I know he cringes when I mention that. But what do you know about ASU and U of A? What have you heard about the rivalry?
Oh, Lord. Well, to be honest, I really haven't heard much about the rivalry, but one thing I do know is, a lot of people looking forward to the next game because of, the beating that Arizona took previously. I believe it was 77, right?
70-7. We'll be hearing about it the rest of our lives. Yep.
Yeah, it's all good. Me personally, I didn't even care about the losing record or the feast that they had. I looked at the love and I looked at the game about it. I looked at the new coaching staff. That's a good thing that I really love about that program. The thing about Jed Fish, he put everything in the past. A lot of people they can maybe. They have their past seasons. A lot of people judge people off that. But the thing about Jed Fish, he's really he deleted every part of, the past Arizona, So the new class that's coming in is gonna make Arizona. And that's the thing that was one thing that I really loved about, joining their team, So yeah, about this rivalry. I just know when I come, personally, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a game for sure.
And there you have it,
game.
Kyron Chambers. He gets it. He gets it. Now we'll have to teach him a little bit more about the rivalry, but he gets it. So Kyron, thank you so much for joining us here in Wildcat Country. Best of luck your senior season, and we really are excited to see you on the field in Tucson in 2022 and beyond.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys.